Are you an African immigrant and you're tired of applying countless hundreds of jobs, or you've gone for interviews and you seem not to be getting any headway, or you're just like you're lacking direction on next step. You're in jobs where you're just tired and you're looking for a way out. So if we're just meeting, my name is Noah. I help African immigrants that are struggling, working multiple low-income jobs, as leaving them with little or no time to spend on themselves and their family, upskill and transition into high-paying tech job that pays them a lot of money and gives them flexibility, time to spend with family and friends. And in fact, in the last 2.5 years, we've helped so many people. Hundreds of African immigrants are now thriving in tech roles and other similar roles in Australia and across the world. And that is why I want to share what you're doing wrong that may be impacting your performance or impacting your effort not being able to get that dream job. Now, I've been here myself. Like, I moved to Australia about 2.5 years ago. I moved from the UK. And even though I had like 10 years experience already working in tech, working in different, companies remotely across the world, I moved to Australia and I thought, well, it's going to be a breeze. I've got what? I've got skills. I've got proven experience. I've even gotten experience in the US. So why will it be difficult for me to get a job? I was so wrong. And that's why all of the things that we actually used to support so many people now to get jobs are from a place of pain. At that time, before I also moved to Australia, quick story. I've seen my wife working, jobs that are beneath a skill level where she was like burnt out all the time. For her to make like anywhere around 80K, she had to work multiple jobs. I'm feeling frustrated, no time for family, no time for friends. I'm like, no, you've got so much skills. On the side, she was also doing like catering work. So I see how she's so organized, intentional. She coordinates, she did like project management, using her skills of communicating, organizing, critical thinking, all these skills that helps you manage your stakeholders and deliver results for them. It's like you are leaving money on the table. You're underutilizing your skills and working in jobs that you have to put in so much hours for you to really get any significant earning. Why not upskill and do roles like business analysis, project management, and all? And she was like, nah, I don't have tech, background. Of course, I know you don't, but let's go on Seek, for example, and check roles like business analyst, project management, software testing, for example. You're not required to do any form of coding. I know you're worried about this. And she was like, yeah, yeah. It went on for a couple of months until one day she was at work and the client she was looking after spat on her face, but she just had enough. So many things have happened in the years before that didn't trigger her. But on this particular day, she just had a trigger. I wonder, even now, maybe it's because of the education, she knows better. She knows that she could be more. That the only thing stopping her was her not taking action at the time. From that day, our mindset had a shift. And that's why we say that for you to experience any transformation, you have to have a shift in mindset. You need to connect to your why. You need to believe. You need to break those limiting beliefs that says, I can't do it, this is too hard, and all of that. And that's where we always start from. Know your why. Why do you want to upskill and get into careers that gives you more flexibility, do more work that is innovative, that also support your career aspiration, rather than just working on job. Now, to cut the long story short, from that day she connected to it and we went on a deliberate effort to build our skills, which is the first step. For you to perform for any organization and get hired, you need skills. So she went on that journey to build skills. Then she acquired experience. So we were working together on some project. She would piggyback some of the project I was working on, and I was sharing practical tips on some of the project I've worked on and how she can translate it into her day-to-day life and the things that she's done. She had that light bulb moment that, wow, oh, this thing I did here, it's actually project management, it's actually business analysis. And that was how we did the skill audit and mapped it. And then she did get to the point where she needed to market her skills. Now, how do you get an employer to notice you? That is a $1 billion question. This is where people who have like skills and maybe have experience already in a particular role, they don't still get opportunity. You apply time, like you applied hundreds of applications and you seem not to get anything. You go for interviews if you're lucky, and you see like they tell you, unfortunately we're going with somebody else. Maybe it's cultural fit, maybe it's whatnot. They just find an excuse for you. There are so many things that you're doing wrong. And I myself, when I moved to Australia, I realized that wow, these are the things that I'm doing wrong after I went through so many pain. So month on month, I'll go for so many interviews. In my own case, I was getting interview, but initially I wasn't. So at the point I changed a few things, made sure I optimized, beating the board strategy, I use some tools to optimize my resume, all of the things that we've packaged into the framework, right? So we did things like understanding what the job is saying and maximizing the value that we can add to that role, right? Researching, optimizing our resume. That began to make a change for me. But even something funny happened where things like my name is Oluwagbenga, right? Things like that, the recruiters were finding hard to call me for phone interview to even shortlist or check if I'm even qualified. And one day I got a call from a recruiter that said, "Hey, do you know that some recruiter may find it hard? Do you have an English name?" And that was why I like started using convenient for everybody. And the combination of all the strategies that I'd done just skyrocketed my phone calls, interview shortlist. But when I got to interview as well, I realized that wow, they just always told me, you know, yeah, you're a fantastic candidate, but we went with somebody that was more of a culture fit. Like I was super, super mad. I even have some of those interviews like recorded. Like I'll watch again. Like I answered all your questions. It was a gruesome 1 hour, almost 2 hours in some interviews that we have fun and everything. But suddenly you say, "Oh, we're going with somebody else." So that was like frustrating. I was looking for answers, and later I realized that I was too technical with my responses. I didn't have like chit chat. I didn't understand the culture. Australian are laid back. They want to talk about a few things. They want to like you as well. They look at you like, is this somebody we potentially could work with? So all of these things, pushed us to actually create frameworks, right? Those experience from a place of pain. So we created Project Bank. Acquired and earned experience is super important. You need to have your elevator pitch on how you answer. You tell me about yourself question. You need to have real project experience that demonstrate value to that particular company you're interviewing with. Nobody wants to know about all the things you've done in your life. You need to talk about the specific experience that speaks to what will add value to that particular organization. We created perfect interview operating system. We created real question. We acquired real question from interview. All of those things eventually, when I finally got a job, I realized that wow, these were some of the things that I was missing in my previous interviews. And then Tayo, my wife, got so many cuts. And then Tayo, my wife at the time, she got, because she's been here longer, she understands that culture. So I see how she interviewed, even though her skills and experience wasn't in any way a match to mine. She went for an interview, and the way she was answering questions, because she already understood the culture, she's very articulate. She was getting like raving reviews where they said, "Oh my God, we will be so crazy not to hire you. We will be mad." That was the exact word, not to hire you, because she understood how to actually, you know, set the frame and answer questions. Even when she didn't know a question, there was a way she was able to navigate that. Where I would be like, not quite sure. She had a technique, right? Even now, she's still better than me. She had a technique to handle situations that may be stressful or you may not have the answer, which is all the things that we teach, train you, support you with. Those are nuanced things that we suffer as immigrant, but you can't find that anywhere. Trust me, you can't even find it in like ChatGPT or anything. So we created a system where you will come and do a mock interview, like real interview simulation, using like real interview questions that we've acquired over the years. Now is even better. At the time, we're just building the bank. But all of these things have allowed us help, even not just myself and Tayona, but hundreds and countless of people over the years. And we're super, super proud. That's why we're so passionate for you to come and learn, right? So if you want to join us, we'll be able to hold your hand and show you some of the things that you're doing wrong. So if you want to learn more, click somewhere across this video and I'll see you on the other side. But trust me, this will be the best decision you ever made if you choose to work with us.